and faster and faster. And my wife was gone, and so I called for Kari. And Kari came, but I was frightened. Now, even though I had gone through 2 operations, was sick as unto death, throughout all of that, I was not as frightened as I was when I almost fainted. Because it was at that time that I truly can say that I had lost all control. Many times in life, you'll find that you will come to a point where you simply have no control over your situation or over your circumstances. We, in many ways today, could say that we are in a situation today where we don't have a lot of control over situations and over circumstances. When you look at the price of gas, they say, well, we can drill in ANWR, and we can drill in the Gulf, and we can drill for more oil. But even the experts say that at best, it would probably be 5 to even 10 years before the oil that we got from those areas would make a difference in the price of gasoline that we buy. And regardless as to how we may feel about this, we have little or no control over that situation. In our psalm today, we find that David is in a situation where David is literally running for his life. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where your life has been threatened. I can remember our assistant pastor here saying at least 2 to 3 times, if I'm correct, I know at least a couple of times, he had a .38 put to his head. Well, I don't know just how he felt, but I would imagine that it was a pretty traumatic situation, and you could almost say he almost fainted. Because to have a .38 put to your head is a situation that will cause you a lot of trauma. I myself can remember in Vietnam when there were rockets going off all around us, and the Viet Cong were attacking our base at Bien Hoa. And the word got out that they were coming through the perimeter. In fact, there were many bodies that you could see that were caught in the barbed wire. But they were literally running over the bodies to get into the perimeter to attack us. I can remember the rockets going off all around. I can remember 20, 30, 40 rockets going off all around. And one of the things that you should understand about that is you don't know where they're going to land. I don't have it now, but I had at one time, I don't know what happened to it, but I had a motor from a rocket that landed about 50 feet from where I was. Can remember them coming into the base. And literally we were fighting for our lives. There were some who were crying like they were little babies, grown men. And some would say, I almost fainted. My brothers and sisters, when you get to a situation where you have very little control over your circumstances, it's pretty easy to almost faint. I don't know, because I've never experienced this, but I look at little babies in Africa, in the Sudan, in areas where there's drought. And they look so weak, and their stomachs are bloated, and you can see their ribs, and their heads seem to be much bigger than what they should be. And because of the bad water that they are drinking, you can see that they are just ill with worms. Their hair has even changed color because of the lack of a good diet. And every one of those kids look like they are almost fainting, about ready to go under. And I believe that when you're in a state where you're almost fainting, it would make you afraid. Well, I wonder today, what makes you afraid?
My Lord.
I wonder, would it be the darkness that would make you afraid? Well, if the darkness, if the things that are unseen in your life has made you afraid, you should know today that the Lord is your light. Maybe there's danger that almost makes you faint today. Maybe you are afraid to walk the streets at night. Maybe you are afraid if you work in a corner store that someone may come in and rob you. Or maybe you're simply afraid, as what happened just a few weeks ago. If you're sitting out on your porch at 11 o'clock at night, some wild man will come and spray the porch where you are. So maybe you're afraid to even sit out at night. Maybe it's the danger that's out there today that causes you to almost faint. Maybe it's the deficiency. Maybe it's the fact that you just don't have enough money for the month. Maybe you can't